Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Thursday morning. Everybody's getting ready for a big weekend in the outdoors. The biggest problem we have here in Panhandle is trying to decide what we're going to do in the outdoors. You can do this, you can do that, just a whole list of things. So start narrowing it down now because our weather's going to be nice. Speaking of weather, brought to us today by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and a hard-working small business up there in Southport, taking care of air conditioning needs. I got a text yesterday from one of our viewers. He said he called up Gulf Coast Air Conditioning to come check things out. So I appreciate y'all doing that. High today, 86, low 75. The water temperature exactly as yesterday, 84.5 at the end of the pier, according to NOAA. River reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. On the outdoors of Mountain Dew. The Apalachicola Bluntstown had a 4.4, and look for the weekend. It's still dropping out for the weekend. The river is right, okay? So it's good. There's going to be a bunch of brim caught this weekend off the Apalachicola tributaries and all along from the dam all the way down to Howard's Creek. Choctawhatchee Caryville, it's going up a little bit now. It peaked out. It should start dropping out tomorrow. So it's going to be a good day on the Choctawhatchee River. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn right here on 23rd Street. Talked about it all week. Good, strong tides. High today is 9:04 a.m. Then it's going out all day until about 8:15 tonight. It's just going to be ideal to be outdoors. So the wind, southwest at 10, which is about as low as we've had in about a month. So coming in at 10 is pretty low. Okay, we're going to take a break. We've got some special guests here in the studio. Take a break and come back and talk to them. Okay, welcome back, and let's introduce our guests this morning. We have Stephanie right here, Gino Peoples. Gino's been welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Now, Stephanie's going to say one segment because she's got to go to work. Can you believe that? But Gino's got longer time to stay.
Yeah, I got a little time.
He's got flexible hours, but he works hard. But I looked. The last time I had him on the show was April of 2012, and I got a good memory, right? No, I saw it. I picked it up on the last time I see Gino a lot. You can see I see him working out a little bit. He's native of Bay County, played baseball at Rutherford and Gulf Coast.
I went to Gulf Coast too for a little while, and then I went to Mississippi and finised up playing. Had a scholarship, so I went up there and played.
He was a fine baseball player. He really was. I remember he had that swing. But now we're going to have to talk with Stephanie mostly this time. So tell us about yourself.
I'm originally from Fairview, Tennessee, moved here in '97, and then I luckily met my husband back in 2012, and we were friends first, and then one thing led to another, and we got married in 15.
Whatever you say.
Good answer.
And I do therapy for a living now, and love watching him work and paint and going with him when he goes hunting.
Yeah. Do you go much outdoor stuff with him?
I am a spectator.
But you go with him, right?
Yes.
She's still debating on whether she can pull the trigger, so she's watching me for a little while. So.
Well, she mentioned Fairview, Tennessee when I was talking to her the other day. I said, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. I got to thinking, we're going to pull up Fairview, Tennessee because, okay, check this out now. We got it. We don't have it on screen. Let me get it hooked up. I said, now I've heard that name, Fairview, Tennessee, because, Wendy and her family live up there now. And I said, wait a minute. Is it up there, Jeff? Okay, so here, if I see Nashville, I'm going to keep everything in the center of the screen. There's Fairview right here, okay, in the center of the screen, Fairview. Look to the right, and that's Franklin. So Wendy works in Dixon, so she drives through Fairview every day. And you have a family up there.
That's where all my family is.
Are you going to say a good morning to all of them? Or?
Good morning, family, and I love y'all very much.
There you go. Okay, so when Gino goes out on his outdoor adventure, you spend a lot of time, do you tell him what to do, or you just sort of tag along?
No, I actually watch and observe and learn a lot from him. He has taught me a lot about what to look for in the tracks and the different animals, and the difference between a buck and a doe and hogs and all that. I've learned a lot from him. He's pretty smart.
She's got about half of it right.
Well, I know in your line of work, you do therapy, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's got to be a sort of enjoyable, self-fulfilling job as far as just because you're helping people.
Yes, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
God lets me help people get better, get back to the things they love doing, you know, get stronger again. It is rewarding.
And so many folks go through therapy like that. So, and you got to have a caring person to do that. So I've always noticed that. What's your most enjoyable outdoor things that you like to do, you and Gino?
I really do like going with him hunting and just sitting there and watching nature come to life in the morning times. The birds start chirping and the squirrels and the trees. It's very fun to just sit there and watch God's beauty.
Yeah. We were talking, my daughter Wendy grew up here, moved to Tennessee, and then after she was married, then you grew up in Tennessee, moved to Florida. So that's interesting how, but both areas are beautiful.
Absolutely.
I know up there, we looked through some rolling farmlands and all, and your family is still up there, though, you said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All of them.
Okay. Well, listen, do y'all get to fish any much? Do y'all fish much, or is it all hunting?
My time has been, you know, I had to let some things go, so I pretty much keep it at hunting. That's my time.
Yeah.
But I do go fishing every once in a while with my brother Jerry. He's kind of like a green thumb of the bays, you know, so I'll go with him every once in a while. And I miss it. I want to do more of it. I've just been so busy chasing my little dream, but I make time for my hunting.
If you may or may not remember, Gino People's art is just he's an amazing artist, and we're going to show his pictures in the next segment and all. But we want to make sure we had to twist Stephanie's arm to get her to come on because she wanted to stay behind the camera. This is her first appearance, and I told her if she didn't talk, she was going to have to sing. So she started talking, but.
Well, she's my support for sure. So
it's great to have some supportive partner like that. That just always wants to be with you and all. That's good.
Sir.
We've talked about it before on the show. Okay, well, we'll get ready to close out this segment. Any final words you want to say, or as far as job or working with Gino, or?
Well, I'm just blessed to have a life where I can watch him paint and go hunting with him, and then my job is great and helping people, meeting all kinds of people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a God's blessing, really.
That's
and
awesome.
I appreciate you letting me come on here this morning with Gino and you.
This is real people. That's what we're talking about. That's why our show is so good. It's real people, and that's why I want her to come on, because she got to go to work. And but it's fascinating to watch him paint.
Oh, absolutely.
What goes through your head when you watch him paint? What do you think?
That it's a God's blessing.
It's
effortless for him.
Well, it's a God-given talent, and we all have different talents that we've been given. But it's a blessing to use that talent, and like you too, to betterment every person around.
Well, she is a big supporter. You know, without her, a lot of it would be harder because she makes sure my meals. Like there's days I'm just painting and I know I'm grinding away, but she'll come in there and bring me my meals. It just makes me keep going. So it's very important. Yes.
Teamwork.
Very, very supportive. Yeah, it is teamwork, no doubt.
Okay, look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to show you a lot of Gino's pictures and some things he's got going on now, and maybe we can get some of these pictures. So we'll take a break, and thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Okay, have a good day at work.
Thank you.
Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Now we're gonna get with some of Gino's paintings and all, but just basically tell us homegrown and all, and you played a lot of baseball. And what position were you?
I played a lot of outfield, pitcher. You know, I never did the infield thing. It was a little. I guess I wasn't good enough for the infield.
You hit a lot of home runs.
I did pretty good. I held my own.
He was at Rutherford, but I kept up with him. He hit a lot of home runs. He's a hitter. Okay, look, but that's over with. But you're into painting now. When did you start the love of painting?
I started painting in 2001. It was actually 9/11. That was the day I started painting my first picture. So I kind of used that as I know what I was doing that day.
Yeah.
That was the first day I started actually painting. But I've been drawing all my life. You know, I did a lot of portraits through the 90s. Kind of got me some extra Christmas money. I enjoyed doing that. So, but no, I've been painting since 2001, actually, 9/11.
And you sort of started putting it toward. We got a lot of them here, and this. We're just going to sort of go through some of them. But we're going to do this on the up top. Okay. We got we're going to show them. We got a lot of them. We might not get all of them in here. We got them, Jeff? Okay. Tell us about this one right here.
That's the one I just finished. And I like to work like 3 paintings at a time. So I kind of get more done. I don't have the drying time. I can still be moving on another one. So that's the one I just finished. Buffalo Games is one of my biggest puzzle companies, one of the biggest puzzle companies in the world. And you can buy this Walmart's anywhere, just all around the world. They sell my art. But this one will be out in about a month. It should be on the shelves.
So this goes all over the world.
Mm-hmm. All over.
But who gets the originals?
I keep the originals unless somebody wants to pay for it.
Okay, okay, that's good. I don't want to say all my favorite because every one of these are good, but this is cool here. Tell us about this.
Okay, this is going to be, I'll try to make it as quick as possible. I started working out 2 years ago to get back in shape. I got a little fat and slobby, so I had to get back in shape. And a guy named Ronnie McGill, a lot of people know him.
No, Ron, he played baseball at Moser.
Yes, good ball player.
At Vanderbilt.
Very good baseball player.
Sir.
Good pitcher.
Yes, he was.
Awesome. So we started working out together, and he was this and that. You need to do some bodybuilding. Well, it was just kind of something I wanted to do. You can see it says McGill's Bait Shop.
McGill's Bait and Tackle right there.
Yeah, he liked that. So I told him I wanted to do something for him for what all he was doing for me, because it's important to know how to diet and all that. So it was kind of a give back, but I thought McGill sounded really fishy. So I said, I think it'll sound good.
And this is old Bait and Tackle. You got your stuff on the wall there.
Hunting, fishing. It's just like I like to make general stores like you used to see back in the day. We had like a Lake Merrill, we had little general stores on the side, and I grew up with that. So I try to I like the 50s era, and even though I wasn't born in that time, just way back when it was innocent. You have an open door.
Exactly.
It was just, people just didn't steal.
The old Bait and Tackle stuff, and there's the old cash register on the right.
Right.
It was cool. Right. I love this one. So, okay, all right, here we go. The next one here. Sleepy Hollow Hunting Lodge, and this got a story. It's got to have a story behind it.
It definitely does. That's me telling a big lie. And next to me, right
that's
there.
How big the fish was, right?
Yeah.
The buck.
Now that's not beer bottles. That's actually Coke bottles. But that's Ben Steele. He was on your show. That big buck he killed.
We're gonna talk about that if we have a chance.
Okay. But this is the kind of things that we did. We did a lot of that actually up there when after he killed that buck, just telling stories. Which he had a good story, and that's his brother Jeff Steele beside him there.
Yep.
And then the guy down here is a guy I went to high school with, but just really nice guys, sitting around telling tales.
So that's an inspiration, just real life things happening in outdoors. You just get inspired by it, and you got it up here, and then you want to go from there to canvas. So you just sit down. Now, how long would it take you to say do a painting like that? I know you take
every painting's different. Every painting's different. Like the one with Ronnie there's a lot of detail, a lot of stuff goes into those, but you can look at them for a while. They usually range between 2 weeks to a month and a half. It just depends on, every painting's different. That's what I teach too. It's like every painting is a different painting.
That's a good point there. Okay, we got to, let's see. Now, what was this story here? Who's that?
That is, we're on the,
This is not a painting, that's a picture.
No, that's at Disney World. We just got back from Disney World, me and my wife.
See, take a break. There you go, take a break.
You see my belly was a little big there too. I've been eating some candy.
All right, look, Ben Steele, this is on his wall at the house, right?
Yes, that is.
So you did that painting?
I did. Ben, he that's one of his favorites, of course, 2 big bucks. But I did that painting. I think I did that in 2012 or 13.
Okay.
It was the first painting I won Buckmaster's Image of the Year with.
That won the Buckmasters?
I ended up winning like 4 or 5 years in a row, but that was with the first one.
Cool. There's not a painting here, but there's got to be a story behind this. You remember what was that?
I believe that's my buddy Hawk's raccoon, and they found it as a little baby, if I remember correctly, and he's raised that thing, and it just.
So this is this is not Photoshop.
Yeah, that's real.
This is real.
That's real, and his name's Hawk. We call him Hawk. Plays ball with us, and that's his raccoon. He raised it like a little baby cat, and it hangs out with the cat.
I had to show that. That just fitted out the world. Okay, let's move on. All right, the big gobblers. What's the story here?
That's what I call the trophy strut, That's when they get lit up right there. But if you look closer, you can see the deer back there in the back.
I see that,
And the tree stand, little piece of it there. But no, it's just a trophy strut for turkey hunters up close and personal, and to just see them light up like that. And I've never done a lot of turkey hunting at all, really. I have to say I haven't. I've been around it a little bit, but to watch them call them in, it's amazing. But
has Jose Ponce seen this?
Man, Jose loved that one. That's what inspired him to take art from me.
Okay. I love this old boat here.
Now this was just like an old classic boat, but
Yeah.
I've always liked that. I like the outdoors. I wanted this to look like kind of the cove over here in our cove area. Obviously before the hurricane. This is an older painting, but it's when I first kind of got started, and I just wanted a cove picture to kind of simulate it, but I wanted the rock so I could get everybody, you know, around the country to kind of understand it's not just a central location.
That's
and I do paint a lot of southern stuff, but back then I was being kind of conformed by different companies and stuff like that, wanting different things to be the bear market.
And I love this little hammock right here. Look at that hammock.
Makes you lazy right there.
A lot of little detail that you put in. This is cool.
Yes, sir.
This has so much color in it.
This was inspired basically by my wife. My companies, they kind of tell me what they would like. I have to do so many for a contract, and they kind of give me an idea of what they want, but they let me paint it. But when it comes to stuff like this, honestly, you need a woman's touch on that. My wife has, like I told you before, she's very supportive, but she also is a woman, and they know how women think. So if you're a woman looking at this right now, you can understand and appreciate a woman's garden.
Yes, it got so much detail to it, and it was so cool. Well, she did a good job inspiring you on that. That's really cool.
Well, thank you.
Okay, look, we're going to take a last break. We'll come back and show you some more pictures and talk to Gino. We'll be right back. Okay, we got to talk about that. Welcome back, folks. We got so much going on here. We don't realize what an accomplished artist he is. He's won all kinds of stuff. You come back on the show, we'll talk about that, like Ducks Unlimited Painting of the Year and Buckmasters and all that. So we'll talk about that later. That's something to be proud of. Let's take a look at our fishing game times, as we always do in this segment of the show, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at 11:56 to 1:56 right in the middle of the day. Just like yesterday, just take that 2-hour lunch and go catch a big old redfish or whatever, or speckled trout. Okay, we still got pictures. We're gonna have to get through these because you got so many. And how many do you think you've done?
I've got over 350 registered paintings.
350. When you say registered,
ones I didn't throw away or put back in the back and don't want nobody to see them.
Okay.
They're called registered because they're with my art company.
Okay. A company represents you, or how's that?
It's a company called Art Licensing out of Vermont. They're like the second biggest art company in the nation.
Okay.
Supposedly. I think we do pretty good.
That's pretty good, man.
They've really been good to me.
And what's cool about all this, you know, he's a local guy, and he grew up here, but more importantly, he loves the outdoors. And we got all kind of outdoor stories, and we're not going to be able to get to them, but we'll have to save that Ben Steele story.
Okay.
We may bring Bill on with you next time to defend himself, because he's going to need to.
That was a great thing. Yeah, there is some things we can talk about on that.
Big buck event, well, we'll talk about that.
It was awesome.
Let's get back to these pictures. All right, here we go. Speaking of big bucks, where were you at right here?
That is the deer, you can tell by his frame and all. I killed that one in Alabama, and that was a stud. I was checking the power lines the same day that the Gators beat, you'll like this one. It's the day y'all beat Alabama, 2009, wasn't it?
I remember that.
Yeah. That's the same day. And I wanted to get back to the game. I think y'all played midday or something like that, but it was like 12 o'clock, windy, checking the power lines, and he was checking us straight.
They're not supposed to do that.
They're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I was skinning him when y'all was playing Alabama.
That was a good day.
That was a good day.
Alabama. Okay, look at this one. Tell us what inspired this picture.
No really inspiration at all. Not that I don't like the elk. I loved painting it. But I can tell you a story real quick though. The first time I painted him, I was just starting my business at Gilbert's Plaza, and it didn't look right. And I had an elderly couple come in the door just saying, and I slung my brush right through that thing. Perfect shot too. Boom. It didn't make it. That was the second painting. That's the best I can tell you about that.
That's funny. That's funny. Let's go to fishing. This has a lot of good detail to it. I mean, look at the
first bass picture I ever painted.
Is it really?
And I loved it. It's called lunker, obviously, but you can see the tangled lures. There's been a couple people trying to catch him.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, the bottom right hand corner, you got a worm down there, and then and there's several lures together, and that's very real life.
it was one of my favorites back then.
Well, getting back to color, look at this, it's exploding out one. Tell us about this one?
That one right there, actually, I don't know if you know, Steve Crow does the signs around here.
Yes.
He owns this original right here.
Wow.
He loves it. His wife wanted that one. And I was trying to buy some hunting land. I called him up. I said, I need to put a down payment on something I want. And he bought this for me.
So that's an outdoorsman dream as far as buying your own land and all. So
yes,
by your own hard work and all,
yes,
you were able to sell some paintings and buy that land.
Yes, sir. I wanted it. And that was few years ago, but I bought my first 40. That's what I wanted.
First
Now
40.
I got like 120 acres, so I worked my way up. But Steve was a big part of that. I needed to sell some paintings, and he's bought a few of them, but that was one of them he bought right there.
That is so cool. And getting back to it, I know just again the color, the American flag, and all, some really, really cool stuff. We got one or two more. Well, what inspired this one here?
It's just getting with it, you know, living on the water, got his own boat. You can see the Coke cooler in the back. If you look at a lot of my art in detail, you see a lot of storytelling.
Yeah, and
old bottles left around, drinking your Pepsi down or your Coke, whatever, you know.
That is so true. That was the speedboats of the 60s right there. That's cool. One or two more. What about this one? This is
just horses running free. You know, the church in the background, you know, going to Sunday service, and you got the old buck back there. It just tells you they ain't harming the wildlife. It's just peaceful.
Yeah, see that old buck back there? Look at that. I mean, that was like a picture, a photograph.
I like to put guys' horns on them. And I always paint them on there.
Okay, see, I've got a couple more. Tell us.
Just some elks hanging out. I just got back from Colorado after our.
You've got some trips out there.
Done a few trips out there. I love it out there. Just beautiful, and had to do it. And that's that scene we talked about earlier.
That's more of a blown up. That's a good, and a dog there, and I don't know. Boy, if I had to pick out a favorite, I just couldn't do it.
There's a bunch of them.
Have you had any favorites?
It's tough, honestly. My wife's a big Disney fan, and I like it. It's a getaway. And I don't put the Mickey Mouse ears on or nothing like that, but I like to get away, and I enjoy it. We kind of do a lot of walking, maybe a little drinking, and having to drive a little bit, so I get to kind of unwind, you know, from just doing this every day. But did a Disney painting that's one of my favorites, and it's not so much that it's Disney, it's just so much detail I put into it to make sure it was right, with the right colors. At the time, my company was going to work with Disney, but it didn't work out because of the money, but we're still in talks, you know, there's still some things I might do. I just don't want to be under the umbrella of Disney. So I like to do my own thing, but we're in the talks. But that's one of my favorites, but mostly, I guess if I had to really peg one, it was Battleground, the one that Ben has, the two deer fighting. I love doing cabins on the water. See a lot of flags in my pictures because I'm very patriot, but it's just, that's probably my favorite. I love painting deer. I just love it.
That's cool. We're about to run out of time, and I want to thank you for coming on. And I know I see him working out a lot. You can see, and we'll get into that next time.
It's always a pleasure being on your show. You're very popular around here. A lot of people like you. I've never heard a bad thing about you.
Well, I appreciate that.
If I do, I won't tell you.
I
anyway.
appreciate that too. All right, folks. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We're going to get Gino to come back on. Y'all do something good today for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.